24 hours ago. The team secured their best ever finish at the Women's World Cup, but of course felt the hurt of losing out after they suffered an agonising 1-0 defeat to Spain in the final on Sunday. Eager England fans had carried signs and gathered in Heathrow Airport to greet the Lionesses, with hopes raised when the team's bags were wheeled through Terminal 3's arrival hall. However, the team itself was nowhere to be seen, which left some fans disappointed. It comes as calls grow for a homecoming parade for the Lionesses following their efforts at the World Cup. Well, earlier, former England captain Faye White told Sky News that the team should be feeling proud of their performance.
It'll take a while to get over it. They'll still be feeling a bit low. Obviously, you go with the plans of winning it. You can't, especially when you get to the final, to just fall short at the final hurdle. They'll obviously be disappointed for a long while yet, but yet equally they will start to feel the proudness that we all feel in them and in themselves, because they got to a final. They took us further than we ever did, and the most important thing is that I know what tournament football can do to inspire a nation, but they are starting to feel it. They'll start to see all the stories, start to see the amount of people that have been supporting them here.
Meanwhile, a rather different reception for World Cup champions Spain, who arrived back home in Madrid. This was the scene from the team's bus as it made its way through the streets of the capital, travelling to meet the thousands of fans waiting for them at Madrid Rio Park. New research suggests using MRI scans to screen men for prostate cancer would significantly reduce the number of deaths from the disease. Prostate cancer is currently the most common cancer found in men. Well, let's get more on this with Shaman Freeman-Powell, who joins me now with more on it. Shaman, how is this screened for at the moment, and how widely is it screened for, and how could this change it?
Well, at the moment, there are no national screenings for prostate cancer in the same way they are for bowel cancer or cervical cancer as it stands. So what happens is that men who believe they may have symptoms will present themselves to a doctor, and a blood test is then carried out. Now, this blood test is looking for high levels of a protein called PSA. And whilst the blood test is useful, it's not always accurate, as PSA can be picked up through other issues, for example, for recently having an infection or for vigorously exercising. So this current blood test, which is widely used, is useful but not always reliable. However, researchers are quite optimistic about a new study which was recently undertaken using MRI scans, and they found that it could potentially be way more accurate. So the study invited men between the ages of 50 to 75 to take both an MRI scan as well as this PSA blood test. It says that out of the 303 people that were involved in the study, 48 had found positive a diagnosis for cancer in this MRI scan. Now, what's interesting is half of those who had found cancer in the MRI scans had tested low on this PSA blood test. So researchers are hoping that this MRI scan could prove to be way more accurate when it comes to trying to diagnose prostate cancer. As it stands, the UK does have higher rates of death when it comes to prostate cancer, and this is thought to be because of the lack of testing. It has higher rates, for example, than Spain or the USA. So researchers are hoping that through this positive result from this study, that more studies could be done, and that potentially a national programme, a screening programme, could be formed off the back of these MRI scan results.
Shaman, thank you. New figures released by the Office for National Statistics show government borrowing has dropped despite soaring interest rate payments in July. Our business presenter Ian King joins me now from the city to break down the numbers for us, Ian, and just explain the significance and I guess the direction of travel here.
Well, I think the government will take these as fairly encouraging figures. The borrowing number, the headline borrowing number in July, £4.3 billion, significantly lower than either the £5 billion or so that the city was looking for, or indeed the £6 billion that the Office for Budget Responsibility had forecast. It means that during the first 4 months of the current financial year, government borrowing came in at £56.6 billion. That was up £13.7 billion on the same 4 months last last year, but it's actually £11.3 billion less than the Office for Budget Responsibility had been expecting the government to have borrowed so far. So in that sense, that's quite encouraging. Now, the reasons for that, the main one is that tax receipts have come in better than expected. Obviously, July is a good month normally for the public finances, second only to January normally, because you get a lot of payments in from people who've filled in their self-assessment income taxes, and indeed self-assessed income tax receipts came in ahead of expectations. But also coming in ahead of expectations were VAT receipts, and that of course reflects the fact that inflation has been pretty rampant over the last 18 months or so, and accordingly with VAT being levied on so many goods and services, when the price of those goods and services rises due to inflation, well, that gives the government a boost in terms of its VAT receipts. So that's the positive. On the other side of the ledger, government spending continues to come in ahead of expectations. The government spent £107 billion last month, and part of that is because of inflation, not least the fact that benefits have in some cases risen in line with expectations. You've had some big public sector pay settlements agreed. That's pushed up the government spending. And then the other big factor, of course, is the interest payments on the national debt. Those came in at £7.7 billion in July. That was the highest July figure on record, and it reflects the fact that around 28% or so of interest on the national debt is linked to the RPI measure of inflation. So that's the not so positive sign. I think the government will take comfort from the fact that borrowing is running below expectations for now, Wilf. But bear in mind, the OBR is very, very likely to increase its assumptions on how much the government is going to be paying to service the national debt when it next upgrades its forecast, and that reflects the fact that inflation has been stickier than expected for longer.
Ian, as always, thanks so much for that. Sticking on the business front, the bosses of the UK's biggest companies reportedly saw their salaries increase by 16% last year. And that's according to the High Pay Centre, who say heads of firms on the FTSE 100 had an average rise of around £500,000. Their research found a typical chief executive was paid 118 times that of the average UK full-time employee. Joe Biden has said he'll support Hawaii in whatever way the state needs following deadly wildfires on the island of Maui. The US president was speaking as he visited the state for the first time since the disaster, which killed at least 114 people. Our US correspondent Mark Stone reports.
The president's helicopter flew low over this devastation. It was Joe Biden's chance to see the loss firsthand. And as the days have passed since the fire, the scale of that loss has been overwhelming for this island community. As he met some of the rescue and recovery teams whose job has been so hard, authorities gave an updated account of the cost. 850 still missing as these teams continue their searches. And it is awful work. There are no bodies to discover or relatives to bury. The victims must be identified from jewellery or dental records, and that will take many months. The President with the First Lady saw areas already searched. The crosses signalled checks done. The presidential podium was set near a banyan tree, 150 years old, and spared by the fire.
Today is burned, but it's still standing. The tree survived for a reason. I believe it's a very powerful symbol of what we can and will do to get through this crisis. And for as long as it takes, we're going to be with you. The whole country will be with you.
There has been criticism of the president for not coming sooner, for not speaking about it for 4 days after, and for an apparently slow federal response. But here at least, it felt like his presence was appreciated.
With the assistance of President Biden, the federal government, and the love and compassion and resources throughout our state, we know we have the support to lift us up as we find those who are lost. We'll deal with the tragedy.
This town was once the seat of power for the ancient Hawaiian kingdom, and that link with native communities was emphasized by the president.
We're going to get it done for you, but get it done the way you want it done, not get it done somebody else's way. No, I mean it.
because it is native Hawaiians who worry always that they are left out and will be again as this island rebuilds, recovers. Mark Stone, Sky News.
We're watching Sky News today, and still to come over the course of this hour, drone attacks against Moscow on the rise, while the Wagner chief appears on video for the first time since his troops marched towards Moscow. We'll discuss. As well, leaders of countries including China arrive for the BRICS summit in South Africa. We'll be looking at Russia's role in that group. And blue skies replace clouds across California, revealing the damage left by Tropical Storm Hilary. That and much more still to come.
I'm Mark Stone and I'm Sky's correspondent based here in Washington, D.C. Well, the plan seems to be to head to the police station where the policeman who fired the shots was based.
And everything, his memories is all gone.
In almost every corner, this town has been completely destroyed by the fire. I've witnessed the remarkable passion for politics here, but the anger too.
We have to get Trump out of the White House.
Is this the moment to reform gun laws?
It's easy to go to politics.
But it's important, it's at the heart of the issue.
I get that that's where the media likes to go.
No, it's not, it's where many of the people we've talked to here like to go. I report on the biggest stories from around the world. This is a town that is effectively encircled by the Russians. You say it's all fabrication, what's happening in Bucha?
Destroyed my nation.
We take you to the heart of stories that shape our planet. I can hear now quite a few explosions in the distance here in Jerusalem. A very violent series of confrontations here. What do you think of ISIS?
Everybody here knows the truth of ISIS.
Russian officials say they've downed 2 drones over the Moscow region, with flights temporarily stopped to and from the city's airports earlier today. It comes after a series of drone attacks on the city in recent weeks. Well, our defence and security analyst, Professor Michael Clark, joins me here on set to talk about it. So what's, Michael, the significance of these drone attacks, and noticeably on the rise?
They're all, every day now something happens. A couple of things. One is that there are 4 airports in Moscow. At some point every day now they have to close them for obvious safety reasons. When this sort of thing happens, this is Krasnogorsk, which is nearest to Moscow. This is the point where some drone attacked something in one of the residential areas. That sort of footage is coming in. And there have been attacks on air bases. There was an attack in Novgorod and the Solsky air base a couple of days ago. The Ministry of Defense, Russian Ministry of Defense, confirmed by our Ministry of Defense, said that was a quadcopter attack and therefore had to be launched from inside Russia. Now, I've long since said the significance of these attacks is that some of them must be being launched from inside Russia. The border with Ukraine is 400 miles away from Moscow, and every night Moscow is targeted with some of these things. And yet they only intercept them in the last 3 or 4 miles of their flight. Do we really think that the Russians are so incompetent that they can't track something across 400 miles of territory? So I'm fairly sure in my own mind that some of these attacks must be being launched from inside Russia.
Ukrainian allies or Russian dissenters?
Who knows? I mean, it could be Ukrainian special forces. It could be Russian dissenters who have been violent in the past. There are a couple of groups. And it may be people doing something in the name of Ukraine with Ukrainian connivance, or maybe even, perhaps not even their knowledge. But it's interesting. These attacks are now regular. I personally don't believe they're all coming from inside Ukrainian territory. It's too far.
previously we debated whether this was a sensible tactic or whether you're giving up the moral high ground. How effective is it? Where do you stand on that now?
Yeah, I'm still very unhappy about this from Ukraine's point of view. I think it does give a lot of moral high ground to Putin. It allows him to say, this is exactly what I've always said, that the West is attacking us. The Ukrainians are getting some benefit out of this in the sense that Muscovites are feeling annoyed that their airport is closed every morning. This is causing inconvenience and a certain amount of fear, a little bit of fear. But I think the political cost to the Ukrainians, in my view, far out exceeds the value of what they're getting from it militarily.
So let's switch focus now and talk about Prigozhin, the leader of the Wagner group, that he's given a video address to his troops, and where's that from?
Who knows? He says he's in the Sahel in temperatures of 50 degrees, and there's what looks like there's a sort of a utility vehicle behind him. There's another utility vehicle on the left, and he's saying, here we are in Africa to free the Africans from the scourge of ISIS and Al-Qaeda and to restore real freedom. I mean, what he means is freedom to African dictators and freedom for him to take mineral rights in all the countries he's operating in, Mali and Central African Republic in particular. And Ed Arnold, the Rusi analyst, said this morning, he said, look, he must be serious. He's put optics on his rifle. He's actually put some optics on, so he obviously intends to point it at something. I mean, Prigozhin's never spent a day in his life in the military, but he parades around with military stuff. However, the intention of the message is to say, we're here, we are part of the African scene now. And of course, we know, as the Americans say, they bring nothing but death and destruction to wherever they go. They're not known yet to be in Niger. The Nigerian government, Chiani, has asked for their help. They haven't yet apparently delivered it, but they're certainly in Mali, they're certainly in the Central African Republic.
Will he be doing that with Putin's blessing?
Yes. Oh, well, Putin's knowledge. I mean, this gets him out of Russia. They're established in Belarus as a hub now at Azepovici in Belarus, and now they've sent some groups to Africa. And the deputy head of Wagner was reported to have said, he said, oh, we're off to Africa, boys, welcome to hell. It's our new area.
There we go. As always, Michael, thanks so much. Let's have a quick look at the weather.
Warm memories wherever you go. The weather, sponsored by Qatar Airways.
There'll be some rain around this week, especially in the northwest, but much of the southeast looks fine. Temperatures this afternoon will be like yesterday's, highest in the southeast, but there'll be a cool breeze. Southern England will be mainly dry and sunny, but elsewhere there'll be a scattering of showers, some heavy. They'll ease later on and become increasingly isolated, leaving many places fine and dry for the evening. Lingering showers will become confined to the far northwest overnight.
The weather, sponsored by Qatar Airways.
You're watching Sky News, and coming up, drug-related deaths fall in Scotland. I'll be talking to one of the lead investigators on the study.
These are those rhombohedron crystals in your pineal gland. When those crystals become electrically activated, all of a sudden they
The show BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired. Yes! How do you get the energy to do that?
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world in adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Star Radio.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Star Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Hi Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Vedasse.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
While the others keep on talking, we keep on rocking.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Starr Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
Turn it up.
Body is your man. Bekutu, show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harrison, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Starr Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for real. But yeah,
the
London.
Best radio show.
You know, just have fun and stay blessed.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Though your heart is aching, smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Hey, this is Archie and you are listening to Starr Radio UK and The Morning Show.
This is Starr Radio. This is UK. Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
Welcome